Bartz now to tell us more. Good afternoon, Ulrich. Thank you very much for joining us.
Hi there.
Now, the U.S. dollar plunged to a three-year low today after the U.S. Secretary of State Mnuchin says in Davos that a weaker dollar is good for trade. How are U.S. main trade and currency rivals, China and Europe, reacting?
Well, the euro here is going up. The dollar is going down on those remarks by Treasury Secretary Stephen Mnuchin. If the Secretary says that, then, yeah, the government can do something against the dollar that's too strong, and the markets believe him. That, in effect, does not work very well for shares here. The market is flat, but of course, there was an all-time record high here in Germany, at least yesterday, and it's often the case that it's not automatically another record high the next day. So it has something to do with the euro and something to do with testing the waters, perhaps for further development. I think the tariffs that U.S. President Donald Trump has slapped on washing machines and on solar module panels, that's also bad news for the market. The Chinese have reacted. I haven't seen a reaction from the Eurozone or from the EU yet. Chancellor Merkel here from Germany will speak at the Davos World Economic Forum shortly, not that long till she grabs the microphone there. And then French President Emmanuel Macron will also speak. And they have the opportunity to address this question. The Chinese Foreign Ministry has addressed it, among others, in China, and it has said that protectionism is a two-edged sword that will harm both sides in terms of an overreaction. And of course, this leads, of course, to the assumption that there will be retaliation in the forms of Chinese tariffs on U.S. products.
Well, and China says it will take the matter to WTO. Well, let's see how that goes. Now, stocks seem to be under pressure today as corporates deliver a bittersweet bag of earnings. Give us some insight into European big banks' results.
I think bank results here in Europe will turn out to be a disappointment. They will practically all feel, because they're all in the United States, the effects of the U.S. tax reform. That is, write-downs they had expected on past losses will not be as high this year. The effect will not be as high because the tax rate is lower. And so the balance sheet will look worse than people expected. In the long run, of course, lower taxes will help the banks, as it probably will industrial companies and other people in the business world as well. But this will affect basically all the big names we know: BNP Paribas, Societe Generale, UniCredit. UBS is already affected, already says it affects its 2017 result, as has Deutsche Bank. And then there are bad loan impairments, for example, for Steinhoff, that conglomerate in South Africa, which is going under basically. And that's affecting a lot of lenders as well. A huge company, and of course lots of banks affected by that as well. So you're probably not looking at the most stellar of quarters for European banks.
Okay, let's look at the data coming in today. Eurozone Composite Manufacturing Index, that races to 58.6 reading. That's the highest since 2006. Can we interpret this as the outlook for the January 2018 PMI?
I think so, and economists agree. One economist for ING said this probably means that the whole of 2018 in the Eurozone will see better economic growth than previously expected. The number is so much higher than people expected. It speaks for the Eurozone's robustness, for the health of its economy. And the first quarter is likely to look better. There are a lot of factors in favor, not least that services, which are included in this PMI as well, are also gunning forward at a pretty big pace.
All right, thank you very much for your time, Ulrich. See you tomorrow. And in the U.S., stock index futures posted modest gains ahead of Wednesday's open. Concerns surrounding global trade weighed on sentiment after President Donald Trump approved tariffs on solar cells and washing machines imported to the U.S. on Tuesday. South Korea said it will bring the matter to the World Trade Organization.